I have a confession to make. Yesterday, I had a bit too many drinks. You're probably seeing this video, meaning I probably still exist, but that evening, my course of thinking did not. Because seeing what I was like when I drank the same substance that turns clubstep into Acheron, my friend DM'd me on Discord and gave me a suggestion. In fact, he literally told me to take 3 main levels and make the parts where the icon is big into parts where the icon is small, and also super buff them. Limfao. You can see where this is going. Not knowing any better, I literally went ahead and did it. And the next day when I realized what was going on, I checked my level editor and I found 3 levels that I did not remember making. And now, to take at least something good out of this whole ordeal, I will beat those 3 levels where presumably parts where your icon is big become parts where your icon is small, while trying to find the answer to one of the universe's fundamental questions. Does size actually matter? Let's do this. Okay, these are the 3 levels that I have allegedly built when I had no idea what was going on either around me or in my head. Judging by the songs, I can only assume that these levels are super buff jumper, clutterfunk, and clubstep with mini parts instead of big ones. And I don't know why these are called Not My Levels and then this one's just called George. And even the folder here is called Not My Stuff. I had no idea that I did any of this whatsoever. So this is gonna be a big surprise. Let's start with jumper and hope that I can beat it. Okay, first I'm gonna do a practice run, and seems like the jumps that I cannot surpass actually use purple orbs to help me pass them, and then the rest seems the same. It has been exactly 20 seconds and I already heavily dislike myself when I build while drunk. I would really love to know what was going through my head. Okay, the ship seems to be pretty much the same, maybe a bit easier even because it's mini. As for the cube parts, there's gonna be a lot more clicking involved than with normal jumper because of all of these mini pink orb spams. This actually feels a lot easier than normal jumper, and I remember very well stressing out about this part when jumper was my hardest level I beat. And then this last part's pretty much unchanged because most of the jumps are possible as mini cube, but they are way harder than with the big cube. Okay, this is jumper with mini icons instead of big ones, and now I have to go through this whole thing in one attempt. Let's see how well I do. Okay. I passed one of the hardest parts, which is the cube right after the beginning part, and maybe if I get lucky enough I can fluke it, but I doubt it, because I am dead. The thing is, right before I started recording, I overdosed on sugar with cookies so that I would have the energy and the focus to beat this, but clearly that's not enough. It's not even a hard jump. I died in an easy jump. Okay, maybe I'm over-exaggerating. The sugar's getting to me, alright? I can't think properly. Okay, now I'm kind of starting to get the hang of it. Just don't stress out, just focus on the jumps, each one on its own, and that's how you do it. Okay, here it comes, here it comes. This is it. This is the one. I have to beat it this attempt. Maybe I don't even need to get there in the first place. I cannot cope with the amount of sugar in my blood right now. What did they put in those cookies? No, I forgot about that one. Okay, but we're literally right at the verge of beating it. It could be any of these attempts. This is the one. This is the attempt right here. This time we got it for sure. That jump is so easy, a rat could have done it. Why did I think that fighting alcohol with sugar was a good idea? That's like setting an anthill on fire. I'm not quite sure where I was aiming with that reference, but the smartest ones of you are probably gonna figure it out. If I die to that jump again, I will slap myself in front of my cat. Oh my god, the stress that I was in when I was at that last part, I cannot describe it. It's worse than summer heat in a room full of glass. Jumper, or rather Not My Level with many icons, is now done. We've got 2 more, and I have no idea what awaits me. But one thing that I learned from this level only, without playing the other 2 at all, is that I'm never trusting myself with drinks again. Okay, let's move to the next one. Also not my level, presumably clutterfunk. What is this? Okay, I can see how I super buff this. This is very much harder than normal clutterfunk. Did I even make this possible? I have no idea how I'm gonna get through this every single attempt. And then these are just spread further apart than a normal clutterfunk. Okay, is this really gonna be that hard? But then on the other hand, this is super buff, right? But parts that are not, parts that are mini are actually gonna be the exact same as in regular clutterfunk, right? Oh yeah, this mini part is completely normal. So this is gonna serve as a break-taking point, because the first part is harder than VSC. Definitely, I guarantee that. But then to balance it out, I probably buffed the living hell out of this ship. Oh, this looks... Oh, okay, this looks very much buff to me. What is this? What is this? And this part, what is this part? It's just orbs and pads and stuff everywhere. This is so confusing. What are those gaps? What was I thinking? Okay, the hardest part's over, and I think the rest until the end of the level pretty much stays the same. Yeah, because mini parts stay mini parts. Yeah, and I was right. So basically, I get past the hardest parts, which are parts where the cube is big, but then it becomes mini when it's supposed to be big, and once I pass that, it's pretty much free until the end. Okay, I'm gonna try and beat this now. I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'll be back when I make some progress. Okay, I made it to the mini part, so now I have time to relax and think about my actions that I did that evening until I get to the buffed part where I'm gonna have to focus again. So it actually surprises me that I was able to write the level names properly, considering I don't remember anything that happened. I was still able to write in that state. Okay, we're about to get to the buffed ship, and I sincerely hope that I can fluke it. Probably not gonna happen, but hope is the last thing to die. Oh, I was actually really close there. If I made it past that gap, I would have probably fluked it at least until the buffed cube. Now that I have space to think again, there's a question that I always wanted to ask everybody. Do you also think when you started playing Geometry Dash that Clutterfunk is the most unfair main level? Like, there's such a spike in difficulty between X-Step and Clutterfunk for literally no reason whatsoever, and I had a lot of trouble actually getting through it. So tell me what you think about that in the comments. Is Clutterfunk unfair or not? Okay, focus. What did I just do there? I literally did this level the unintended way. That was the last hard part. If I get there once, I'm gonna beat it for sure. Oh my god. Please. Oh my god, please. You have no idea how lucky I just got there. I never even died at the hardest part. Now we literally just have default Clutterfunk to go through. And I am praying not to choke this, come on. Oh my god, I did it. Still, despite of how much I'm celebrating, I feel like it was harder than Jumper, because there's only a few choke points that there were in this level, while Jumper was overall just way more difficult than the regular Jumper. So also not my level was harder than not my level. Anyway, now we've got the last one to go, George. George is presumably clubstep, but with mini parts instead of big parts. I don't know why I named it George. The only explanation I could possibly think of is if anyone ever played Sort the Court, I believe it was called. There's a demon NPC that's named George, and since clubstep is a demon and George is also a demon, that's where the name comes from. I would have to ask my drunk self, okay? Anyway, let's see what this level has to offer. I don't know what to expect. There's gonna be a lot of orb spam and a lot of super quick jumps. I don't know how it's still a coherent level even with the state I was in. I still somehow made it possible. Okay, the Q part is bearable. There's only spam clicks, which is not that much of a problem, but now we're about to get to the ship. What did I make out of that? Okay, I literally turned every single spike into a super tall spike, and these 4 orbs, I have to delay them a lot to make it past. But after this, I believe the rest of the level is mini, so this is mini, and then the next part is also mini. These ones remain unchanged, which I'm pretty happy about, but then this part is supposed to be big. And obviously we got timing jumps again. And then these, yeah. This, I feel like, is gonna be my choke point. I'm gonna die here a lot. And from here on, I believe it's literally only mini parts. There's no big parts at all. Never mind, this one's supposed to be big. What is that? There are only 2 orbs in here instead of like 4 or however much there was supposed to be, and the portal is moved a lot. So yeah, that timing is still gonna be a painful one, but then the rest of the level truly is just mini icons. So yeah, no big deal. If we can get past the choke points, we're gonna beat this. I think we're past the hardest part now. I think we're past the hardest part, and if I manage to fluke all of the choke points, including the ship, I am in the clear. That was simpler than it should have been. And now I get to relax slightly less than on Clutterfunk for about 30 seconds before I'm back at choke points. Okay, here we go. I think I did it. I might have done it. No, I did not. Yep, that's an unfortunate orb placement that I for some reason decided to not move, but it is what it is. 63% on George. Attempt number infinity +1. Okay, we're in the clear now. There's only one more part ahead that's hard, and I am willing to bet my mortal soul that I will pass it. If I don't pass it, if I die on it, I suffer eternally with the demons. If I pass it, you join Alias Heaven with a link in the description. And here we go. This is George 100%. I have finished all 3 levels that I have made not knowing about who I am. This was harder than the last one, but I think Jumper still takes the cake because I don't know why, but the level that's meant to be the easiest turned out to be the hardest. All 3 of them are now completed and I can take a break. If I learned anything from this experience is to never trust myself ever again, and if you guys learned anything from this experience is the fact that you should not mix Geometry Dash and any type of drink. Thank you everybody so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Join Alias Heaven with a link in the description and I'll be back soon. Goodbye.